Timesheet settings in Time Tracker module. We know that timesheets are collection of time logs. That is, employees create time logs on a daily basis, and when it comes to submitting a timesheet, they can combine all the time logs, submit it as one single timesheet, and then send it for approval. So before we could explore the different settings and restrictions in timesheet, let's first understand how to add a timesheet. So to create a timesheet, you'll have to navigate to the timesheet module, and there under My Data, there will be an option Timesheets. So there are two different ways to create a timesheet. So the first method is click on Create Timesheet. So before you click on Create Timesheet, you can also adjust the date range. So when we go back, click on the filter icon. So you can select a particular week or for which duration you're going to create a timesheet. So once this is set, click on Create Timesheet. So all the time logs that are available in the system for this particular time period will be included in this one single timesheet. So the duration here is set to 21st July to 27 July. So all the time logs recorded for this time period are being listed here. So we have two different time logs, and then the total hours is going to be 32 minutes. And here we have an option called rate per hour. So the rate per hour that is being listed here is nothing but the employee wage. So there is an option called employee wage where you can add rate per hour to each and every individual employee in your organization. And then based on the total payable hours and the rate per hour, the total amount is automatically calculated by the system. And the employee can either save this as draft or send it for approval. The Send for Approval button will only be available if approvals are configured for the timesheet option. So when you save it as draft, the employee can still go and edit the timesheet. But once the timesheet is sent for approval, the edit option will not be available. So this is the first method to create a timesheet. The next option is from the time log view. So when we go to time logs, on the bottom right corner of the screen, there is an option called Not Submitted. So all the time logs that are not converted into a timesheet will be listed here. So you can change the duration here for which you would like to create a timesheet, and then the total number of hours is being listed here. Click on Not Submitted. It will automatically create a timesheet. And again, you can either save this as draft or you can send it for approval. So these are the two methods on how a timesheet can be created in the system. Now let's see the different restrictions and settings that you can have for the timesheet module. So in order to do that, we'll navigate to Settings, Timesheets, and under Configuration, we have Timesheets. So first section is Restrictions. The first restriction is about limit timesheet period while submission. If this option is disabled, an employee can submit timesheet for any duration, for the past month or for the previous 90 days without any kind of restriction. However, by enabling this option, limit timesheet period while submission, the first option is called day. When you select day, an employee has to submit current date timesheets within the same day. So an employee cannot submit timesheet for the previous day. The next option is week. And I'm enabling the option limit the submission period where it is set to Monday to Friday of the current week. It means that current week timesheets should be submitted within the same week. Instead of current week, if you make it as next week, current week timesheets can be submitted only in the next week. That is, it has to be submitted on or after Monday of next week and before Friday of the next week. In the same way, you can enable the restriction even on a monthly basis. You can select month, enable the option limit the submission period. So let's say it is still first till last day of a month. If this is set to current month, then current month timesheets has to be submitted within the same month. Or you can also go with the option called next month, where current month timesheets can be submitted only in the next month. So you can enable the restriction and then you can click on Save. The next option is about limit time logs based on billable status for timesheet submission. Let's enable it and I make it billable. It means that If an employee is submitting a timesheet which has 10 time logs in total, and out of the 10 time logs, 8 time logs are billable time logs and remaining 2 are non-billable. So here, if the option is selected billable, system will automatically filter billable time logs and convert it to a timesheet. If there are any non-billable time logs available when you're creating a timesheet, system will automatically exclude it. And the next option is about exclude time logs without clients during timesheet creation. Again, if this option is enabled, an employee is submitting a timesheet which has 10 time logs in total. Out of the 10 time logs, 5 time logs are mapped to a particular client and remaining 5 are not mapped. So when system is converting these time logs into a timesheet, the 5 time logs which are not associated to a client will not be included for timesheet creation. And the next option is about restricting overlapping dates. Let's say an employee is creating a timesheet for 1st of July till 10th of July, which is already submitted. The same employee is trying to create another timesheet for a duration of 5th of July to 15th of July. So here, there is an overlap of dates. So when you enable this option, restrict timesheets with overlapping dates, when system detects there is an overlap of timesheets, it will not allow an employee to submit the same. And then you can set minimum and maximum hours criteria, which is nothing but you can set a minimum time. So for per day, let's make it as 8 hours. So an employee will be able to submit a timesheet if it is only 8 hours or more than 8 hours. So the minimum criteria is 8. In the same way, you can set up a maximum criteria. So for one day, an employee can submit timesheet for only up to 12 hours and not more than that. You can have these conditions either for a day or for a week. So once all of these options are set under restrictions, you can click on Save. And the next option that we have here is called Permissions. First one being is timesheet can be created by reporting manager or employees. So if permission is given to both manager and employees, both of them will have an option to create timesheet in the system. We do have few other automations that we can include as a part of timesheet creation. The first one is about reminders. You can send reminder emails to your employees to submit the timesheets. So click on this option, Add Reminders. You will be automatically redirected to this page. Click on Add Reminder. Set a reminder name and select the type. Earlier we created reminder for time blocks. So now under type, we will be selecting timesheets. And then set the frequency, how often you want this email to be sent to your employees. And then you can set the time of schedule. Let's say it's 6 p.m. in the evening. And this reminder email will be sent based on 2 different conditions. The first option is have not submitted timesheet for approval. That is, an employee has not submitted any timesheet for a particular day. Then the reminder email will go. The next condition is have submitted less than, let's say, 5 hours. That is, the employee has already submitted timesheets, but it is for less than 5 hours. In this condition, the reminder will be sent. So you can choose from any one of these options here. And the next part is about applicable to. Who are all the list of users who should be receiving this reminder notifications? So you can select a particular condition, and then comes the notification part. So here the employee is notified. In addition to the employee, you can also send an email to the concerned reporting manager, or you can include specific employees. That is, if you want a particular HR person to be included in this email, you can enable the option specific employees. So once all of these conditions are set, click on Save. You can have more than one reminder for timesheets, like first reminder to get triggered at 6 p.m. and another reminder to get triggered at 8 p.m. So there is no restriction in terms of adding number of reminders. So now let's go back to the settings part. So the next one we have is called schedulers. So it is going to be the employee's work to convert time logs into a timesheet. If you feel that your employees might miss converting your time logs into a timesheet, you can add a scheduler here. A scheduler is nothing but when this is set, system will automatically convert time logs into timesheets and it will send it for approvals. So the employee's job is to only create time logs in the system. So to set up a scheduler, click on Add Scheduler. You'll be redirected to the automation section. Click on Add, enter a scheduler name. And again the frequency, how often timesheet creation should happen. This depends upon your organization policy. And the time of schedule, let's make it as 6 p.m. And then billable status. Do you want all time logs to be converted into timesheet or only billable time logs? So system can automatically pick based on the option that you select here. And applicable to. So you can make this timesheet scheduler applicable only to a particular group of people or to your entire organization. So let me select all locations. And once this is done, you can click on Save. So when a scheduler is set, it is not mandatory for you to set up a reminder process because system is automatically doing the timesheet creation process. So this is about timesheet schedulers. So going back to settings. So if you want to enable the approval process, you can click on Add Approvals and you can add a new approval flow for timesheet submission. And the next setting under permission is display rate per hour for timesheets. So when an employee is creating a timesheet, there was a calculation based on the number of hours they have submitted and the rate per hour. So this option lets you to say who can view that calculation in the timesheet submission. That is, can employee see that or only the reporting manager or only the approver. So the last option under permissions is about allow approver to edit time logs during approval. So a timesheet is being submitted for approval. Do you want the approver to edit the time log information? If yes, enable this option. So even if this option is enabled, there are only limited information that the approver can edit, which are nothing but billable status, time log hours, and work item. So once all these options are set, click on Save. So the next setting is about currency. So again, when a timesheet is created, we have a calculation to calculate the total amount that has to be paid to an employee. So the total amount will hold a currency. So you can add multiple currencies specific to each of the location. So according to the location mapped to the employee, the currency will be displayed in the timesheet creation process. And the last option that we have under settings is customize the email notification about timesheet approval. So whenever a timesheet is submitted for approval, the approver is going to either approve or reject it. So whenever it is approved or rejected, the employee will be notified through email. And this notification email can be customized. So click on Customize Email Template. So this is the option. Click on Edit Email Template where you can make changes to the email content. Once it is done, finally you can click on Save. So these are all the different settings, restrictions and automations that you can have with respect to the timesheet creation process in the Time Tracker module.